James Charles has found himself in some major trouble this week after some very serious information came out about him, and it's not looking good. Multiple people have come out to speak out against James, and after a week of silence, James has finally responded, and like I said, it's not looking good. It's a mess, so let's get into it. To understand this entire situation with James going on right now, we have to go all the way back to the beginning before James even managed to involve himself. At the core of this story is TikToker Kayla Malik and her now ex-boyfriend Evan Johnson. Kayla is a creator with over 15 million followers on TikTok and 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube. She grew her following from her storytime videos and also gained a lot of attention from the way she did her makeup. She always drew on her freckles very thick, which led to a lot of negative feedback in her comments. Some people felt like she was doing her makeup bad on purpose because all the negative attention was keeping her in the algorithm and was also catching the attention of some major beauty influencers, one being James Charles. James had stitched one of Kayla's videos and he offered to do her makeup for her, and she took him up on his offer.
Kayla, bestie, I know we can do better than those brows, and I say that with love. You're beautiful. I believe in you, but I know that we can let me do your makeup to finish the glow up.
They collabed, he did her makeup, they ended up becoming pretty good friends and collabing a few more times after that as well. Now, recently Kayla came out on TikTok and on her YouTube channel speaking out about her now ex-boyfriend Evan Johnson. She has a two-part series on YouTube detailing the she was put through at the hands of Evan, titled "He Doesn't Love You." In these videos, she goes into deep detail about what she was dealing with behind closed doors. I'll link her videos down below because I think it's really important to hear her story in her words instead of me retelling it and saying like, then she said this and then she said that. It's her story, it's really serious, and I think everyone should go and watch it. She's also told her story on TikTok and has also gone on a few podcasts to talk about what she went through. Kayla and Evan did share their relationship on social media. Evan gained a lot of followers because of his relationship with Kayla, and fans were absolutely shocked when Kayla came out with her story. She received a ton of love and support in her comments, and shortly after Kayla shared her story, Evan was arrested. One article on his arrest reads, "Influencer Evan Johnson was arrested in Sumner County, Tennessee on a charge of domestic in violation of his probation on Monday, April 7th. People confirmed with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office that Johnson was arrested and later released on bail on the same day. Though the 20-year-old has since made bail, social media users have speculated that the arrest connected Johnson to TikTok star Kayla Malik, who recently shared a series of viral videos in which she claims to have been in an extremely relationship for the past 9 months. Now, after Kayla shared her story, Zach, a friend of Evan's that grew up with him, posted a video supporting Kayla.
Evan and I have always known of each other because we grew up in the same town here in Tennessee, but never hung out. Evan come back from LA, I believe, around January. Before all of this come about, I knew nothing about Evan and Kayla. I just knew that Evan and Kayla were in a relationship. So as soon as he got back, we hung out. We hung out multiple times and we talked about modeling. He started slowly opening up to me and telling me that him and Kayla were on a break. That's the reasoning that he's back here in Tennessee, and that he's just working on himself, and that also Kayla's working on herself. Not long after that, he started talking a lot about Kayla and was telling me like how Kayla was and all of this. So I started getting red flags. So after that, Kayla shortly after, I believe, don't know the exact date, that she come out with a live on TikTok and was just very, brief about, how Evan and her were, and it was very, toxic. So after that, I asked Evan about, some things, and he was like, oh, bro, she's lying, After Kayla recently just come out with her podcast on YouTube, I just want to say that it's sickening, it's disgusting, and I want to see this man in prison after what he put Kayla through. But not also Kayla. There's other victims.
He said that his cousin also had a very similar experience with Evan, and Kayla sharing her story made her feel comfortable enough to share hers as well.
My cousin that lives here in our local town. I never knew that Evan and my cousin, were a thing / dating. And when you released your podcast, she opened up to me and called me and to family that it wasn't as harsh as what you went through, but there's a lot of things that she was with by Evan.
Zach also shared a video Evan had him record after him and Kayla broke up. In this video, Evan is ranting about the relationship with Kayla and then spoke about a big influencer he was getting advice from.
I'm texting another guy that's a big influencer, and he's like, she's literally doing that thing at clout chasing. And this all happened when she went to Tampa.
And of course, everyone was like, well, who is the influencer? We want the name. What influencer could support someone like this? But Zach was initially hesitant to share the name. Eventually, Zach did share the name, and it is none other than James Charles.
Hi, sisters! Okay, I know you guys have been waiting for more parts and want the celebrity's name. I wanted to do it the right way. I wanted to reach out to Kayla and Kayla hear from me first, just because this is her story and I know deep down this is going to hurt. I gave you guys a hint at the beginning, but I'll go ahead and throw the name out there. It's the one and only James Charles.
Now, Zach has since shared the story about James and Evan on TikTok, but he also sat down with a creator called Be Better. You guys may know Be Better from his videos talking about the downfall of brands, influencers, and celebrities. He's a very popular creator, and Zach flew out to Toronto to sit down with him and share the entire story. I'll have the entire interview linked down below. I don't really want to put clips in my video because Be Better has said that James is actively trying to get the video taken down. He's run into a lot of issues with it on the back end, but I will break it down for you guys and also share some of Zach's TikToks where he retells the same story. So starting from the beginning, Zach grew up with Evan and they were friends. So naturally, Zach was going to be there for Evan when he moved back home and was fresh out of what he thought was just a breakup. He didn't know what actually went on behind the scenes when he was supporting Evan. He didn't know the full story until Kayla shared her series on YouTube. James, on the other hand, James was good friends with Kayla, and Zach claims that James knew about what went on between Kayla and Evan before she went public, and to make matters even worse, James was apparently not only supporting Evan, he was allegedly, according to Zach, having relations with Evan and housing him at his home in LA.
Evan flew to California to see and stay with JC on February 28th. He stayed until March 3rd. He was supposed to come home on Sunday, but got talked into staying an extra night so they could have, one last night to, hang out and rest and just chill around the home. I know that just because I was in contact the whole time with Evan while he was in California, and I knew a lot of information at that time. This is coming from Evan, but since she has such a huge fan base, it's really hard to get my truth out. JC told me to be quiet as long as I can, no matter what. That come from Evan, and that was while he was in California.
Now, I know what you may be thinking. If Zach was supporting Evan and he didn't know the full story before Kayla released her video, maybe there's a possibility James also didn't know the full story as well. Although Zach is saying James did know, and he knew because Kayla directly told him as soon as they broke up.
JC was already warned, told, and given information from Kayla the day that she broke up with Evan, that what he had done to her and how bad he was and how things got bad.
It later came out during the Be Better interview that James had asked Kayla and Evan to be in a campaign for Painted, and when he reached out to Kayla to confirm if they were still up to do the shoot, Kayla informed James that they had broken up under very bad circumstances, and instead of supporting his friend Kayla, James apparently made a comment along the lines of, well, can I have him now?
There was a comment back to her, and it was along the lines, can I have him now?
Zach says during the breakup, Evan leaned on James for support and was being flown out to LA to stay at James's house. Zach said that he would be on the phone with Evan while he was over at James's house, and James was giving Evan advice on how to handle the situation. He was telling him not to address anything, pre-record videos explaining his side of things. Just so gross. And keep in mind, James was Kayla's friend. Can you imagine your friend coming to you and confiding in you about what their ex did to them? And instead of believing them and wanting nothing to do with their ex, you fly said ex out to stay with you and then give them advice? It's like, not only is James supporting someone who's allegedly done horrible things to his friend, he's also allegedly having some sort of relationship with his friend's ex and lying to her about it. Zach said Kayla directly asked James if he was with Evan, and James denied it, even though Evan was allegedly at James's house at that very moment.
When Evan went to California, there was a phone call. I was on the phone actually with Evan, and there was a phone call that JC received from Kayla and said, hey, like around the lines, not word for word, but it was around the lines of, hey, I know this is a weird question, but by any chance, is Evan with you? And JC comes back to Kayla and said, no, why would he be with me? During that time, they were sitting right beside each other, literally right beside each other. So at that time, he was lying to his best friend and lied and said that, you know, he hasn't talked to him and he doesn't know anything why, you know, Evan's in LA. Well, that's the point, is he was hiding this from Kayla because he didn't want Kayla to know. He did not want anyone to know. He didn't want any fans to know or anything because he knew the story.
Zach says James was offering to sleep on FaceTime with Evan when they were apart. He was sending him disappearing Instagram pictures and messages. They were talking every single day.
As you guys know, JC does not have Snapchat, and I'm not sure exactly why he doesn't have Snapchat. So JC uses Instagram as his quote, quote, Snapchat. They would, you know, Snapchat 24/7 on Instagram and FaceTime every single night.
He was also apparently trying to get him a pass to come to Coachella with him. As we know, James loves to take his new prospects to Coachella. But then of course Kayla's video came out and that could obviously no longer happen. Zach says when he initially posted his first video on the situation, James immediately reached out to him almost instantly and said this: "Hello, I'm just now seeing these. I'm absolutely not on his side and would really appreciate if you would leave me out of this. I only ever spoke to him because he manipulated me into thinking his situation was similar to what I went through, so it was a really personal and sensitive topic that I had empathy for. As soon as I saw Kayla's video, I felt disgusting and awful, and I've stopped responding to him altogether. He's obviously manipulating and lying to everyone. I should have never spoken to him, but you were in the car with him, so I don't think it's fair you're making a video accusing me of being some monster when he had you convinced too. I'm sorry I didn't see your messages previously. I wish I would have sooner, but I appreciate that you reached out to warn me. I'm at Coachella right now, but if you want to talk later on today or tomorrow, I can make myself available." And this is a thing James has always done. The second a video is made on him, he's in your DMs messaging you, trying to do damage control. Like, I swear James is on some sort of sick power trip. I can remember doing a video on him and like Emma having some sort of falling out, and he messaged me acting like he was my manager and I was in trouble for not running my video by him first. I really think that's why James tends to go after all these younger guys. Evan is only 20 and James is going to be 26 in only a few weeks. So it's not illegal, but also I personally couldn't even imagine dating someone who was 20. The jump from 20 to 26 is so drastic. It really just feels like James has a type here. Like, what is going on with this man where he just can't get his shit together? He has every resource in the world when it comes to dating. He could hire a matchmaker. He lives in LA where I'm sure he has a lot of options. He could meet people through friends, speed dating, pickleball club, join a choir, I don't know. Literally anything would be better than seeking out these younger guys, especially younger guys who are exes of your friends, especially younger guys who are exes of your friend who allegedly is them. I just can't wrap my mind around why James keeps finding himself in these situations. Well, I can, but I don't understand why he allows himself to keep making the same mistake. You can no longer say, oh, he's just young. He's a grown man. He's a multi-millionaire. He's a business owner. He is not dumb. You would think James would be on his best behavior after surviving his last cancellation. He got so lucky. TikTok was new. He was able to grow a whole new audience, a new audience that wasn't around for the Bye Sister days, a new audience that didn't know how deep his past scandals went. I feel like over time, he's just gotten so cocky. People have been leaving comments under his videos being like, oh, why was he ever canceled? He's so funny. And clearly that's gotten to his head and he felt like he could start being messy again. Even him using Instagram now to meet people and send disappearing messages. It's like, why risk your career? And that's not even the point of this whole video. The point is James not believing his friend and siding with Evan because he found him attractive. That is the bottom line here. The point is James letting this guy stay in his home and do who knows what, all while having some knowledge of what Evan did to Kayla. His friend, Kayla. James has now been offline for a few days, he's been silent, and his peers have been speaking out against him.
That James Charles is sleeping with Evan Johnson, the one that broke Kayla Malik's jaw.
Oh man, yeah, James, you're f***ing cooked, kid. We're gonna need like 27 more crying apologies. Not only is this guy a P3DO, you get it, befriended this Kayla girl who vented to him about her boyfriend and then went behind Kayla's back to smash or get smashed by this. Like he is so terrified. He's trying to hire like 19 PR teams to try to clean up this mess, and that's kind of awesome. Now people are starting to hold him accountable for his disgusting acts. So James, you're cooked.
Kayla also posted a video talking about having to bite her tongue until her court case is done.
This lineup of events has got to be just like, I don't even know. Like this has to be like a test of like patience. Like, Kayla, you have to bite your tongue until next week. How, can you do it? Like, nobody understands how hard it is to like just sit here and scroll on my For You page and not say anything yet. Anyways, court's in 2 days.
And under this video, she actually liked a comment about James, which reads, I'm so sorry about James Charles. That is just so selfish. And James's entire comment section is calling him out and he's bleeding followers on TikTok. Kayla has a court date set for today actually, and James finally put out a statement last night regarding Evan. He said, I do not support Evan Johnson. I am hoping and praying that Kayla gets justice tomorrow. As I promised her privately, I will not be responding publicly to anything until after the hearing is over. I really wonder how he's going to try and talk himself out of this one, because I feel like no matter what way you look at it, James is just not looking like a very good person. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. And